What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we are going to be going over game one of the ALDS between the Yankees, between the Blue Jays, to see who came out on top. If you're excited for this one, make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So, some key things we wanted to see for this game. We wanted to see the man on the back of my jersey, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., pop the frick off. And we wanted to see Kevin Gausman become the Cy Young for the playoffs. Did we get those two things? The answer to that question is yes. But let's see what happened in game one. The Blue Jays have not won a playoff game for 10 years. I was 5 years old the last time the Blue Jays won a playoff game. I am now 15 years old. That is insanity. Also, the first time ever in the playoffs they have faced each other, so you already know with how much these teams hate each other, it is going to go down in Toronto. On the mound, I already mentioned it, Kevin Gausman. We wanted to see him lock in, and we wanted to see what he could do, because on more than 5 days rest, Kevin Gausman is one of the best pitchers in the league. All right, to start off the game, we got Trent Grisham up to bat for the New York Yankees, and first pitch, it's a fair ball, and the Blue Jays get a one pitch out to start off the game. But wait, Trent Grisham is arguing that it is a foul ball because it hit off his foot. And when you look at the replay, it did look like it hit off his foot. But too bad for the Yankees, it isn't a reviewable play, so suck it, and it's one pitch, one out for Kevin Gausman. And then after Aaron Judge gets on first base, Cody Bellinger would fly out to Dalton Varsho, which brings up Sid from Toy Story to the plate in Ben Rice. And Kevin Gausman gets him swinging on a splitter on the outside half of the plate for strike three. The Yankees are an insanely good offensive team in the first inning. Pretty sure they have the most runs scored in the first inning. So for Kevin Gausman to go out there and put up a zero, it was insanely clutch for him to do that. So you'll love to see it. Bottom of the first, the New York Yankees starting pitcher for game one is Luis Hill. And the reason that is because Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, none of those other guys, the top three, not ready to go. So we got Luis Hill, which is perfect because Max Fried and Carlos Rodon are top tier, and Luis Hill, he's not on that level, all right? But he does record the first two outs on a couple of ground balls to the infield, but now it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in his first postseason at-bat of 2025, what is going to go down? He's gonna send it high, he's gonna send it deep, and it's gone! Vladimir Guerrero Jr., will he be good? That answers your question. It's a solo shot. And it's 1-0 Blue Jays. Come on, man. Playoff Vlad is here. And he's not playing around. You'll love to see it from Vladimir Guerrero Jr., bro. Then in the second inning, Kevin Gausman lets up a base hit to Jazz Chisholm Jr., but he gets the next out, and then it's Ryan McMahon at the plate with one away, full count, runner on first. Kevin Gausman throws a splitter, it breaks his bat, and a leaping catch from Vladimir Guerrero Jr., diving to catch the ball, and he doubles up Jazz Chisholm Jr. That's the Gold Glove right there, man. Whoever says Guerrero is not good at defense needs to see this clip, because obviously he's the best defensive first baseman in the entire league and there's no debate about it. Then, in the bottom of the second inning, Mr. Alejandro Kirk, who has been struggling like insanely in the month of September, besides for the final series of the year, he's up. It's the first pitch of the inning, and he decides to do exactly what Vladimir Guerrero Jr. did. He sends it high, he sends it deep, and it's gone! Alejandro Kirk, he's a man on a freaking mission. With no Bo Bichette, we needed other people to step up. His name is Captain Kirk. He's like that, bro. Stop playing around. It's 2-0 Blue Jays in the second inning. You'll love to see it for the boys. No doubt about it. Second deck home run. Then in the fourth, Kevin Gausman still going to work. with 2 outs in the 4th inning, gets hit from Toy Story once again on a splitter down and in for strike 3. The second strikeout of the game for Kevin Gausman. He's at 40 pitches through 4 innings. He's absolutely cooking, and the Yankees are giving him a lot of first pitch and second pitch outs with how aggressive they are being. So shout out to the dumb New York Yankees. Top of the 5th inning. Kevin Gausman still on the mound. He's still cooking, but he needs some help from the defense. The 1-1 to Jazz Chisholm Jr. It's sent out to right field, but never fear. Nathan Lucas is here, and he's here to take extra bases away from Jazz Chisholm Jr. He's like that, bro. The Blue Jays are the best defensive team in the MLB, and they're showing it this game. Nathan Lucas, what a diving catch. You'll love to freaking see it. And then with 2 outs, the 1-2 to McMahon. It's sent out to center field. Varsho with another nice sliding grab. And that ends the top of the frame. 2 amazing defensive plays for the Blue Jays to get out of the 5th inning. But then, this is where things start to get a little shaky for the Toronto Blue Jays. In the top of the 6th inning, Anthony Volpe's going to lead it off. He's going to send one high. He's going to send one deep. Anthony Santander leaps. He cannot get it. It's off the wall for a leadoff double. Can they get something going? Austin Wells thinks they can, and he sends a single to right field. And there's runners on the corners with still nobody away for the top of the order in Trent Grisham. Now, what does Kevin Gausman do? Kevin Gausman walks Trent Grisham, which was a mistake. Obviously did not want to do that because on deck you got Aaron Judge, who can blow this thing open with one swing, and you got nowhere to put him on base. Nowhere to intentionally walk the guy. So what does Kevin Gausman do? He freaking battles 9-pitch at bat, and on the final pitch, he gets Aaron Judge swinging on a splitter outside the zone for strike number 3, and there's 1 out in the ball game. That was the biggest out of the entire ball game. And then, with Cody Bellinger on deck, the 3-0 to Cody Bellinger is low, which means it walks in a run. It is now 2-1 Blue Jays. The base is still loaded with only 1 out. But then it's Sid from Toy Story once again, who has struck out both times. So John Schneider leaves Kevin Gausman in the game, and he gets Ben Rice to pop up to Addison Barger. Absolutely clutch stuff from Kevin Gausman. You love to see it from our ace. There is now 2 away. So John Schneider goes to Louis Varland, takes Kevin Gausman out of the game. Absolutely job well done. Besides the 6th inning, even that was pretty good to strike out Aaron Judge in that big situation. But Louis Varland comes in, power versus power. What will be the outcome? The outcome is a 101.7 mile per hour fastball, the second fastest pitch of Louis Varland's MLB career, and it strikes out Stanton to end the inning and to leave the bases loaded with only 1 run scoring. Absolutely clutch stuff from Louis Varland and Kevin Gausman. So now in the bottom of the 7th inning, Luke Weaver enters the game for the New York Yankees. The first batter, Dalton Varsho, he walks on 5 pitches. Then it is Anthony Santander, who's still looking to get going in the postseason. He sends one over the head of Jazz Chisholm Jr. Varsho's on his horse. He's rounding second. He gets into third. And Anthony Santander, first hit of the postseason. And there's runners on the corners with nobody out for the Jays here in the 7th inning. But then Anthony Santander gets lifted for a pinch runner, Miles Straw, who later stays in the game for defensive duties. Then it is Andres Gimenez, and he sends one past Jazz Chisholm Jr., and the Blue Jays score a run. It's 3-1, and Andres Gimenez with an RBI single. Absolutely clutch stuff from the Blue Jays this entire game. So now there's runners on first and second. Still nobody out, but now it's a 3-run lead. Shout out to Agent Frickin' Zero. Then, Fernando Cruz into the game for the Yankees, the guy who celebrated a 400-foot flyout when he left the bases loaded against the Red Sox. So we all know about that guy. Then George Springer comes up. He draws a walk to load the bases for the Toronto Blue Jays, still with only 1 out. And it's none other than Nathan Lucas. And you guessed it, Nathan Lucas comes up clutch once again, and he sends a double down the right field line over the head of Aaron Judge. 2 runs are going to score. The runner stops at third. Nathan Lucas in a second with a RBI double, and it's 5-1 Blue Jays. You love to see it from Nathan Lucas. The guy was absolutely amazing this entire game, and the Blue Jays now have a 5-1 lead over the Yankees, bro. And now it's Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and it's a 3-0 count. He got the green light from John Schneider, and he sends one out to center field. He pumps his fist because he knows it's deep enough to score George Springer from third, and it's a sac fly for the Blue Jays. It's 6-1 Toronto. And that's going to do it for the 7th inning in terms of scoring. What a 7th inning for the boys. And it's going to continue in the 8th inning. All right. Alejandro Kirk back at the plate. What is he going to do? Hint, it already happened in the ball game. He sends it high. He sends it deep. It wasn't even that high, but it was a line drive homer. It went over the fence. It doesn't matter how high it was. In his last 10 plate appearances, Alejandro Kirk has 5 home runs. That's a 50% homer rate. That is insane. And he puts the Blue Jays up 7-1 with a solo blast. Whatever he figured out, it's working for him right now. No doubt about it. Then after Kirk, Varsho gets us going once again with a double into the gap. No outs, and Varsho on second for Myles Straw, who's going to send one into right field. Varsho gets the stop sign. His runners on the corners with nobody out for none other than Andres Gimenez once again. And you already know Andres Gimenez is going to come through with a double down the left field line. It's going to score Dalton Varsho. And it's now 8-1 Blue Jays off the bat of Agent Zero. Nathan Lucas, Andres Gimenez, Alejandro Kirk, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., all key offensive contributors to this ball game, and the Blue Jays are up big in the 8th inning, but they're still not done. Ernie Clement sends a sac fly out to the outfield. Trent Grisham's throw is not in time. Myles Straw is going to score. It is 9-1 Toronto, but that is not going to be the last run they score of the ball game, because Nathan Lucas is back up with the plate, and Nathan Lucas just doesn't get out apparently, so he's going to send a single up the center field, and it's going to score Andres Gimenez from third. It is now 10-1 Blue Jays, and on the verge of winning their first playoff game in 10 whole years. It is Jeff Hoffman who's coming in with a 9-run lead because we had him up and no one else was ready. So Jeff Hoffman gets Anthony Volpe swinging on a splitter down in the zone, and your Toronto Blue Jays have a 1-0 ALDS lead in the first round of the playoffs against the New York Yankees. The Yankees lose. If you enjoyed this one, are excited for game 2, make sure you like, hit, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.